Carlin to punt it away. Asher Gregory standing at his own 21-yard line. 4th and 4. Good pressure. And it's blocked. Grabbed by Davenport. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Davenport! Kevin Underwood took the block punt, and the Wyoming, Michigan native took it in for the touchdown. And he's being mobbed over there. Kevin Underwood's first score as a Panther is huge, and DU makes it 27-16. And we welcome you to the Davenport Coaches Show at a key point in the game Saturday up in Marquette against Northern Michigan. A blocked punt, both blocked and returned by Kevin Underwood. Davenport goes on to win it 35-16. We welcome you to the Coaches Show at Uccello's in Caledonia. I'm Rick Berkey, the head coach. Sparky McEwen is here. Coach, you had some issues with special teams early in the game, but a big special teams play on your side right there. Kevin Underwood, very timely block and scoop and score for the touchdown.
That was a little out of the norm. You know, we've been rock solid with play with special teams the last 3 years. So all teams are due to have a day like that. But the beauty of football is that, you know, you'll get the next play, the next opportunity. And the young man that blocked that punt and scored, trivia question for you. You actually called a number of his dad's touchdowns in high school.
Really?
Carlton Brewster the Rooster.
Carlton's his dad?
Carlton's his dad, yes. How about that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, phenomenal young man. A great young man, just like his father himself. And he's a youngster. He's got a bright future for us. But, yeah, I knew that I could hit you with that trivia. And it's fun. You know, it's coming full circle. I coached his dad. Now I'm coaching him as well. That
is a cool thing. And it was a good thing this Saturday. You went out there, and you got contributions from a number of different guys. We're going to hear a little bit later. And one of the exciting plays is Cephas, call him Trey Harris, rushed for a school record not only for the game but also on one single play. But your O-line, I thought, started out slowly. Didn't get the separation that you wanted initially, but as the game went on, they seemed to get better. That line did.
You know, it's you know, from the beginning of the season, and when I say the season, I'm talking about early August, you know, that was a position that, you know, when you lose the likes of a Sam Garcia, you know, which is was an NFL, you know, potential, you know, it left a scurrying, you know, and trying to figure out a group, you know, that's going to gel and play well. And we still haven't figured it out yet. We still got, you know, it's an early part of our season. We still got a ways to go. Practices are really important to us right now because we're still growing as a unit. And, man, we really feel like, you know, we're getting close, you know, a breakthrough moment, you know, with this group. And, you know, as you said, you know, the O-line is, and on the D-line, that's where it's at with me. I've always stated that, and any coach worth anything, they'll tell you the same thing. So we still got some work to do, but we did get the win, and we've made some improvements in that area, even with the situation as it is.
Well, we're not going to tease you any more about it. Trey Harris, we call him Trey. They call him Cephas. He goes by both. He was approaching his season best, and he got more than that in the fourth quarter once you had taken control of his team. Trey Harris in the backfield through 3 quarters. Net 81 yards. We've got to get him over 100 to make it 3 for 3 in the century mark. Carrying the football for DU. So they'll give it to him right away up the middle. He's got a hole. Look out. 35, 30, 40, 35, 50. Trey Harris, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Davenport. Trey Harris from 81 yards out. His 3rd touchdown of the day. His 6th in 2 days. And that gave him a new school record of 171 yards on the game, a new school record, and a single run record of 80 yards. And the kind of neat thing about it, as you knew, Sparky, both of the records he broke set by brother Myron just 2 years ago.
That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun for the family. And the beauty of this is we've got him back for, you know, a few years. And, you know, just like his brother and just like his other older brother, Miles, when you get football players like that, you know, any coach will tell you that, you know, when they're good people, you know, great character, you know, good heart, leaders, They're fun to be around. It's fun coaching, kids like that. Those are the type of players I like to coach. It makes me want to stick around, and continue to do this, a little longer. And I'm so glad that he's with us, and I'm so glad that his family felt like, we were the place for him.
Juan Mathis, your quarterback, very efficient, 12 for 20, 211 yards. Had a big 48-yard touchdown pass to Evan Brown that got your first touchdown on the board there. No picks. Made pretty good decisions, I thought, throughout the day.
It was one of his better outings, going back to last year, the Wayne State game when he actually broke his foot. And he needed that, and it was his best week of practice. And I always tell guys, when you have great weeks of practice, 9 times out of 10 is going to carry over, into your play, on game day. And more importantly to me, when we talk to DeJuan, he's got to be a point guard. Okay, we have an offense that's truly, it's built around our quarterback, and there's a lot of reads and things that is within our system. And he just, we don't want him to do too much. Just do what's needed, what's asked in the system. Be a good point guard. And at the end of the day, you come out and have an efficient day. You come out and you have, a high completion percentage, and more importantly, you get a W.
And I thought your defense really rose as the game went on also, along with your O-line. Your defense seemed to take slowly. They wore the offensive line down, I think, for Northern Michigan.
We felt the same way. We felt the same way that, we traveled more linemen than what I typically travel, because we felt like that with what they do offensively, it takes a toll on your own offensive line as well. And I wanted to throw more fresh bodies at them. And, I felt like, Coach Gus did a phenomenal job in our rotation, keeping our guys fresh. And so when we get into those later, quarters, we were able to have our number ones roll a little longer than what we normally would. So hats off to our D-line and going against a very, very tough offensive unit that gets after you very aggressively. And that's one of the young men we have here tonight for you, So
Kennedy Nelson, he's going to be our guest. Tell us a little bit about Kennedy and what he means to your program.
He's our best defensive lineman. He's one that I feel is doing a great job. He plays that interior. We have 2 positions on our line. We have our interior D-line and we have our exterior D-line. He's the one that anchors that interior D-line. And, he's, I always get on him about, the details of things, because I know he's a talent. And one of the things that I noticed with him, he's picked up his leadership role. And I tell him, we need this out of you. We needed you as an athlete on the field, but we also need you to be, that voice of reasoning. We need you to be that, that hammer, when it's time for, our guys to fall in line, to take the next step up, So I'm proud of him. He's coming a long way, and going into that game, he had some special assignments, and he didn't blink. He went in and, took the orders, and he delivered.
All right, well, why don't we chat with Kennedy Nelson? Let's take a break. Coach, you're going to come back a little later on. We'll talk about the week that we thought we were going to have. It's changed course a little bit. We'll talk about that on our final segment of the show. So we'll take a time out, come back with Kennedy Nelson here on the DU Coaches Show from Uccello's in Caledonia. We roll on the Davenport Coaching Show from Uccello's in Caledonia. Stop out here anytime. Boy, I tell you what, they've got about 25 huge screen TVs going on. We've got baseball, football, everything going on, as well as other things. So stay great place to enjoy a ball game. And the food is fantastic at Uccello's. If you don't know already, you got to learn that. Our next guest, senior lineman Kennedy Nelson, had a big game, had 4 tackles on Saturday. 4 solo totals and 8 all in all. That's his total for the year. But last year he had 8 solo and 18 total. He's from Raleigh, North Carolina, and started out at St. Augustine's in North Carolina. You're a long way from home. How did you find out about Davenport? What brought you here, Kennedy?
I hit the portal my sophomore year of college, and Coach Ishmael, the D-line coach, reached out to me, and the rest is history.
So did you come up here and visit before you committed to Davenport?
Yes, sir.
What caught your eye? What was it made you feel like this could be a place for you?
The business building. I really like the business building a lot. I like business myself, and so when I saw everything in there, it was just I liked it a lot. And it was a lot better than my last school, so everything just seemed right, and the coaches were very wholesome. You
did go to St. Augustine's of North Carolina for a couple of seasons. Even though it maybe wasn't exactly what you'd hoped for, what did you take from it that did help you as a player and maybe as a person too?
Adversity, definitely. We had a lot of adversity at my last school, so learn how to overcome that, help you in any aspect of life.
Still have family back in North Carolina?
Yes, sir.
You know, I got to ask you this. I was going to get to that later. I get it right now. You're from North Carolina. You're going to school in Michigan. How did you become a New Orleans Saints fan?
Originally, I'm from Arkansas.
Oh, are you?
So that's about the closest team. Love Drew Brees.
Yeah. Boy, he caught your eye. That's a good one to follow with that as well. Let's talk about your play so far. Again, last year, 8 solo, 18 total. You're well on pace to succeed that now. You're getting more. Coach called you as best defensive lineman. Do you like that moniker?
Oh, I appreciate that a lot.
What is it do you think is your strength as a player, or where do you have to get better?
I think my strength is kind of being an overall player, a toolbox player, a good amount of strength and speed, and improve. I can definitely work on my IQ, learning formations, things of that nature, to take my game to the next level.
So this was your first trip to the UP, was it?
No, I took a trip.
You went to Tech last year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but first trip to Northern to play a game this way.
Inside the dome.
Had to be a fun event. Had you played inside a dome of football before?
No, it was my first time ever.
What was it like? Well, tell somebody what was different about it compared to playing outside.
That atmosphere for sure. Everything echoed. Whenever we go in there, before anybody was even in there, you can just clap and hear the echo around the whole stadium. So that was really cool.
And when a punter punts it, you can hear the echo off the top of the roof, which I think is kind of a neat thing as well. Had to be a fun ride home after that big GLIAC opening win.
Absolutely. I love watching the Lake Superior as we drive by on the way back.
I should mention that one of the key play in the game, I thought, was the blocked punt and return for touchdown by Kevin Underwood. But Kennedy made a third down stop just before that block punt. That was key in that. You made a big play with that. How did you assess your game overall Saturday at Northern?
It was pretty good. Definitely got some things to work on, but just did my job and did what I was asked to do.
Tell us about your family back in North Carolina.
I got a lot of family, a lot of siblings, 5 siblings. Go back there all the time.
Older, younger, what do you
I'm second to last.
Okay.
So I got a lot. I got 4 older, about 3 younger.
Family going to be able to get up here and see you play at all?
Yep, all coming out to the Ferris game for senior night.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, you are a business administration major.
Yes,
what are you
sir.
Thinking about doing with that degree, Kennedy?
I really want to be a day trader.
Oh, do you?
Yes, sir.
You going to intern in that ahead of time, or?
I have a friend I went to high school with. He's kind of like my mentor. He does very good in it, so.
Would you like to go back to Carolina to live after school, or are you willing to go anywhere with a job?
Yeah, I'm willing to go anywhere. Probably go back to North Carolina to start with and then expand from there.
What do you do in your own time away from football, away from school? What do you do for your own enjoyment, Kennedy?
I love the outdoors. Go fishing a lot, video games, just hang out with friends, usual stuff like that.
You been able to find that here in Michigan yet?
Yeah, found some good fishing spots. Still trying to catch a pike, though. That's on the goal.
Tell us where you go fishing and what.
There's a couple lakes around here, a couple ponds. I just find there's an app on my phone, shows you local place to go to, so just go around.
Well, we'd like to keep in West Michigan if we could, but we understand you got your roots and you also got your goals, so we'll enjoy you as long as you got here. Get a chance to taste this Uccello's food yet?
Not yet. I'm about to get over there now.
Well, I don't want to hold you from that, buddy. It's great having you. Nice job Saturday, and we look forward to a lot more excitement from Kennedy Nelson, the senior, from Raleigh, North Carolina. We'll take a break. We're going to shift
Thanks.
gears, talk cross country and track here on the Davenport Coaches Show from Uccello's in Caledonia. We're shifting to talk cross country right now. Davenport cross country, that is. Men's and women's cross country coach Scott Cook, his 19th season, the only cross country coach Davenport's ever had in its history here, going back to our NAIA days. And Scott, that's got to be a source of pride, I think, to you. You started the program and you're carrying it on and taking it to different levels.
Yeah, it's amazing that it's already 19 years, because there's some things that seem like just yesterday I started. But yeah, it's been great to see the university grow and the team to grow and the athletic department grow. It's really been a good experience.
With that growth means you've grown as a coach as well. Tell us how you're different as a 19th year coach that maybe Scott Cook, second or third year coach, didn't really maybe emphasize as much as he does now.
Well, I think I just have a little bit of a different perspective. I have 2 teenagers that live in my house now, so I have a different perspective.
I feel your pain.
Parent perspective versus just a younger guy wanting to make his mark in the track and field and cross country community.
Are they runners, your 2 teenagers?
I got 1 runner and I got 1 shot putter.
All right, shot putter.
Yeah.
So he's on the Husky side, or he or she?
He's 14 and he's quite a bit larger than I am already.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about this team. First of all, let's go with the men's team first. You brought all 8 runners from last year back.
Yeah.
So when you get like that's a good thing in terms of experience, and also I would think for cohesion.
Absolutely. They know what the expectations are. They know what it's going to take to score well at the conference meet, at the regional meet, and what it's going to take to make a national championship.
Junior Jordan Dominy, one of your key performers, your top runner back, and he's off to a good start this year.
Yeah, he's won the last 2 races he's been in. He's from right here in Caledonia, so that's kind of neat too, that a hometown kid can come and do some big things. But yeah, he's been tremendous, and I still think a little untested so far. He hasn't really had much competition.
What do you do when you have a runner that hasn't had the competition you like? How do you get them to feel that, even if they're out in front more than they're used to, or they're used to being?
Well, I think kids just need to be self-motivated. You really have to want it. And so he's the last couple of weeks he's learned how to run by himself out front, and that's valuable experience. So he's not going to be afraid to go out there and take a chance when he's running against maybe some more talented kids.
Your women's program, they brought 4 back, but you brought two newcomers. Let's first talk about the 4 that you brought back and a couple key performers for you.
Yeah, Alyssa Butterfield, sophomore, has been great so far. That group it's just going to be a matter of keeping them healthy. Sierra Guay's back running after a surgery that's kept her out for over a year, so it's been just exciting to see her have the opportunity to come back, but she's getting better every single day as well.
You mentioned the health, Scott. How difficult is it to keep the runners in the off-season from going too hard in their off-season training? Because that's got to be a challenge.
It is, because in the summer they're maybe they don't have all the school load and stuff like that, so they have a little bit more extra time and they feel good and they can run when they want to. So yeah, that's a big challenge to sometimes hold kids back and be patient.
Tell us a little bit about the upcoming schedule. I know is it the men and women at Lewis on October 10th?
Correct. So we're going to Lewis in a few weeks. It's one of the biggest invitationals in the country for Division II. There'll be teams there from Colorado and California and all over the place. So it's really like a showcase and a place to get good outer region competition to hopefully get some points to help your resume to qualify for nationals.
Scott, tell us about you had a couple of newcomers, Britta Johnson and Adriana Soraya.
Yeah, have been doing great. Britta actually was on the team last year, but not in a cross-country role, as more of a track role. So just to kind of get her stronger in the events that she'll do in the winter and spring, we've added cross-country to her plate, and she's been doing a good job and a pretty newcomer. And then Adriana up from Grayling, kind of a small school kid, so it's exciting to see her develop. She's already run lifetime PRs this year, so I think she had the typical freshman flu, but we're over that now, and I think, she's going to be a little bit of a sleeper. I think she's going to surprise some people.
Is running a sport, cross-country in particular, where being from a small school isn't maybe as much as disadvantage as it might be in other sports?
I think that's correct. I mean, I think you can be talented and put the work in, and it doesn't matter if you go to a shiny big school or a little tiny school. It doesn't really matter as long as you're willing to put in the work.
Tell us about your home life. I know you mentioned you got the 2 teenagers, which is challenging enough in itself, but you live right not too far from here.
Correct. Yeah, just right up the road here, and actually in Alto, but really close to school and to the Farmers Insurance Complex. But yeah, I got 2 teens active in stuff here at Caledonia High School, and it's fun to be part of that as well, see it from a parent perspective.
Tell us where your team runs, cross-country teams run for practice at DU. Where do they go? What route do they take?
Typically, in and around the campus area, we have put together a little bit of a cross-country course right behind the football stadium, and so if you're out there, you can that's what that giant mode trail is. So we do some work out there, and obviously we still utilize the track sometimes.
What do you enjoy about coaching at Davenport as opposed to maybe some other school?
I think just the family atmosphere, kind of the attention to detail for the whole student athlete, not just the athletic part, but the fact that we have access to professors and athletic training staff and advisors, and everyone's there, same goal to make sure these kids are successful.
Scott Cook, we appreciate you stopping by to join us, telling us a little bit about the men's and women's cross-country team. Good luck at Lewis next month, which is just around the corner, so good luck then, and also down the road, and go have some of that great Uccello's food, bud.
All right, thank you.
All right, Scott Cook. We'll come back with Sparky McEwen for our final segment on the Davenport Coaches Show here on DUPanthers.com. And our final segment of the Davenport Coaches Show for Uccello's in Caledonia. Great place to stop for food and a great atmosphere. It's a great time to have there. Great service here. Brittany takes fantastic care of us here every Tuesday night, as well as some other folks. And we love coming out here. They've been great hosts for the Coaches Show now for, we've been out here 5-6 years at least. So it's a great place to go and have fun. And the people here, you can hear the buzz in the background. There always is, having fun. Right now they're cheering on the Tigers, trying to turn things around from that. But if you hear a roar, that means the Tigers did something well. Sparky McEwen joins us right back here for our final segment. We had planned on telling you all about the big home opener coming up this Thursday night against Lincoln from California. The Panthers have played not only 3 games on the road to start the season, but 3 long road trips to Erie, Pennsylvania, to Missouri, the far reaches of the Upper Peninsula. Finally, they're going to get to come home and play a team on the friendly confines of Farmers Insurance Athletic Complex. But things changed, Sparky. You found out just yesterday that Lincoln was not able to make it.
You know, one of the things that we talk to young people about is this thing called life. And and what we mean by that is everything's not going to be perfect. Things happen. And unfortunately for us, you know, these are things that happens in sports and we see it, but you never think you'll experience something like this. And, you know, it's awful. You know, it's very disappointing because the team that I coach here, these guys, we fancy ourselves on preparing our guys to go into games and be competitive and get after it and compete at the highest level. And to get that snatched from you, it's really, really disappointing. But once again, we have these conversations about life, and this is part of life, and it's unfortunate, and you know it's over now, and you know our guys, we had a conversation about it, and we're prepared to move on.
How did they take it when you first told them?
They were pissed off, you know, because they wanted to play, and more importantly, they wanted to play in front of, you know, the Davenport student athletes and the faculty and Grand Rapids and, you know, who wouldn't? We've been on the road. Our bus miles, it's got to be a record. I mean, this is ridiculous. We've been on this bus for I don't know how long. And then all of a sudden, you know, we're coming back to a home game that's going to be at night, and we have our 10th, celebrating our 10th, you know, season in football. And all of a sudden, it's not going to happen, you know, so. But we talked about it like mature men are supposed to, and we discussed it, and we've already moved on. You know, we got big practice tomorrow, and we'll get going and get prepared for our next opponent.
So what will you do this weekend that maybe is different from a regular weekend since you won't have a game this week? Is it just like a bye week?
Well, no, we're practicing. We practice on tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday I'm going to watch me some football, and Friday night I'm going to go out and recruit and see some games. And then on Saturday I get to sit back with my wife and my two dogs and maybe go play a little golf and
get some popcorn at the couch. Yeah.
You know, do something, you know, but
the dogs like popcorn?
The dogs like everything. Yeah, they like everything.
You should see their dog. Tell them about your dogs. So these are monstrously big dogs.
Yeah, I've got two big dogs in my community over in Crystal Springs. They don't like them, you know, but the dogs are beautiful dogs, two Rottweilers, and I got Boomer, and I have Tank. Tank's the son, actually, of Boomer's, and they're fun. They're fun. Their mama doesn't take much stuff, you know, about her babies. You know, so you know, we're a big happy family. We enjoy the dogs, and we're animal lovers, and you know, we'll be spending a lot of time with them this weekend.
So next week, when we talk about the upcoming, it'll be Grand Valley Week, and that's always a special week. We will talk about that next week in the show. But as you do that, that'll be 4 straight road games. But the light at the end of the tunnel will be after Grand Valley. 5 of your next 6 are at home. 5 of your final 6 are at home.
Well, the thing about it is, it's our first game at home is going. I don't know if you know this. Our first game at home is going to be actually our homecoming game.
Okay.
I don't know if that's ever happened in football.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Our first game will be a true homecoming game.
Yeah, literally coming home.
Yeah, so we should have against an unbelievable opponent, but it's going to be a packed house when we do get back, and it's just good to be back here in the West Michigan area and know that we don't have to get on that bus on a Thursday to go to great distances.
I asked Kennedy a little bit about the bus trip coming home when he was here, but I got to think, I know that's a long, long trip, 7 hours roughly, to get from Grand Rapids to Marquette, but it had to feel a whole lot better when you had a win under your belt to come all the way home on that bus.
When you talk to any coach and student athletes that win athletic competitions and they're on that bus, it's a fun time. It really is. That's the part that, you know, friendships are made of, history's made, and you know, long lasting friendships at that. You know, so it was pretty quick for the most part because we actually watched football on the way back. You know, so we were able to pull up on our TV our upcoming opponent. You know, so that was the strangest thing about what happened because we're watching them on ESPN. and all of a sudden, here it is, 48 hours later, we're not going to play them. So we were actually, working
in
as we were coming
mode,
home.
yeah.
So our boys were able to lay eyes on them, and obviously they were playing a Division I team on ESPN 3, I think it was, and we were just kind of getting juiced up about coming home and then performing in front of our parents and our faculty and our students at DU.
Well, again, Spark, congrats on a big win, and we look forward next Tuesday to previewing, as one of our coaches said earlier this week, that the blue team next week will be taking on. We'll talk about the blue team on a week from Saturday. But enjoy the week off. I know you got work going on, and thanks for stopping by, and we'll look forward to next week's show.
Absolutely.
Coach Sparky McEwen, we want to thank our special guest, Scott Cook, the 19th year coach of men's and women's cross country at Davenport. Kennedy Nelson, the senior lineman. So for Sparky McEwen, I'm Rick Berkey saying thanks for joining us once again, and go Panthers.